Hello everyone, this is Elvis64 here. Welcome to another Linux video. Today we're just going to be doing a quick showcase on just program alternatives. I didn't go much too in-depth on to that one on my previous Linux video, mainly because, as I said, it just kind of depends on like the just needs of the person using that distro. But I kind of figured I want to just go ahead and list like a few alternatives that is available on Linux, so I figure why not. So if you don't feel like jumping into Linux just yet, but you do want like programs that are Linux friendly that you want to try and just look into, this video might be for you. So let's go ahead and load up my application list here. So you're going to see here is I've got, let's see, I've got a calculator, calendar, got a couple web browsers, got some video editors. I haven't looked too much into this one yet. I've got a couple I'm experimenting with right now. I've experimented with Kitty and Live on my previous one. I'm experimenting with Lightworks on this one. I've got several others here, OBS included. So let's go over, before we get too lost here, or before I get too distracted, we're going to go into LibreOffice Writer. This is what I've been using to write my script for my previous video, and this one here. So this is a program alternative to Microsoft Office, which is LibreOffice. This right here has its own, let's see, alternatives to Microsoft Office, which is LibreOffice Calc, and then there's LibreOffice Impress. This is an alternative to PowerPoint, and this is an alternative to Excel. I'm going to focus on Writer here just to give like an example, because most of the interfaces here are pretty similar to Windows, and they're also consistent across the board. Not the most similar to Windows, like Microsoft Word, but it's similar enough to where you can pick it up easily. It's just pretty easy to pick up. Let's see. So, as I said, this is what I've been using to write my script here. And let's see. I'll use this word for example. LibreOffice has some pretty familiar features that you'll find. Usually, Microsoft Word will, if you're using the offline version, it'll list like the right spelling of the word. Well, when you click on it. When you click on a word that underlines as red, it'll like do a little list on like potential like alternative spellings, or if it's like a certain brand, it'll list the correct word. LibreOffice here does the same thing, but instead of like just clicking on it, you want to actually right click on it. It'll actually list the correct word here, and that's what we'll click. And there we go. That's spelled correctly. Like I said, these are pretty consistent across the board. I'll go ahead and open these up real quick just to give a quick showcase. We're not going to go too deep into these because I don't really have a use for them. But if you're looking for a good like Microsoft like Office alternative, this is one of them. You can also, if you want, there's also Google Docs if you want something that's a little bit more familiar. I posted my first Linux video script here, just like to give an example. You can also use Google Docs as well. Or if you still have to use like a Microsoft product, you can use the web version, which is pretty accessible anywhere. But if you're really just not like, if you want to deviate away from Windows, like I said, you can either use Google Docs, or if you'd rather not mess with that, you can also do this here. Let's see. So another one I want to get into is some video editors here that I've been experimenting with. This one I've done a little bit more experimenting with, which I'll get into just a second. This one I'm going to be experimenting with for this video. I'll probably put in an edit to let you know if it's worked out or not. With some of the video editors I've used in the past. Kitty and Live's a little different here. What you'll see is you'll find your transitions, a good chunk of your transitions right here. But you also see quite a few, let's see. You'll also find a few effects here that may not be as, what's a good word for it? As obvious if you don't know your way around a video editor, but if you do know your way around a video editor, you'll find what you need pretty easily on here. What's a little bit different here is that unlike Lightworks here, which has a text thing here that's listed, you actually have to create it through Kitty and Live if you want to make like a title clip, for example. This little box right here, what you want to click. You can add either an image sequence, a title clip. Let's just say a title clip, for example. Let's do let's just do text. Create. yeah, and then you just, this is how you do it there. It won't have like a selection like most video editors do. Like you actually have to go in and create it, but it is available to you if you want. But this is the one I've used for the previous video, and this is the one I'm going to be using for this current video just to see how that works. As I said, I'm still pretty much experimenting with video editors at this time. So I'll find one that sticks. Let's see, what do I want to go over? So next one I want to go over is, let's see. Oh, I know. So before you want to do anything super major, let's say you want to like make a major tweak in your Linux distro. Like if you feel like you've got like a pretty good hang of what you're looking at, like if you got like pretty good, like you feel, let's not say it there, like you're feeling pretty confident. You want to use like you want to make some major tweak, make it do a little bit of customization. Let me pull it up here. And you want to make like a major change to it. Before you do that, you're going to want to install a program known as TimeShift. TimeShift here is kind of like it's kind of like Windows Recovery. What it does is it takes like a snapshot of your system here. Hold on, I'm going to switch here, that way. I know the password's pretty much breaked out, but I don't want people looking. Alright, so back to the scene here. So it pretty much creates a snapshot of like the system before you make any specific changes, or if you have like an update that just goes wrong. Like here I've got a couple, I don't remember which one's that one's been made. That one's made on the 17th here. This one's been made on the 25th. I've got it to automatically make like a snapshot just in case if like anything goes wrong. If I make like a major tweak that breaks something, or I remove something that breaks something, I can just always easily go back to this. So we're gonna mess with the terminal here. Let's see. Let me move good old OBS here. We'll put you to the side there. So let's say I want to install an app. Or okay, that's actually not. Hold on. Actually, let's trade places. Nope. Let's minimize you. All right. So we got here just the terminal here. If you ever want to like try and install something, you just want to go do sudo apt install TimeShift. So, and then usually with that app installs through like the terminal, it's going to ask for your password here. And the password is going to be what you use to log in to like your user, like your desktop here. It'll be the same password for the terminal. And as you can see here, it'll just like generate a bunch of lines. It's already running the newest version of TimeShift. But usually when you're installing stuff like this, it'll ask if you want to, it'll list like the amount of storage they'll use, usually like megabytes, and it'll ask you yes or no. Let's use a browser, for example. So let's say if I want to install, let's see, let's go and start with. So I've already done Brave, so that one I can't really show. But let's just say, let's say you want to install Vivaldi, or no, not Vivaldi. Let's use Tor. Let's say you want to install Tor. And before we get into this real quick, if you're not super comfortable with the terminal, you also have the pop shop here. Well, it's my distro shop here for the app store here. Let's see. So let's say if I want to see if Tor is available on like the pop shop. Okay. So it shows here that I can actually download the Tor browser launcher through here. Let's just say I don't want to use the terminal just yet. Like most of the time, you'll see like some programs in like this app store here. Like most beginner friendly distros will have this here. Let's just say, like if I want to go ahead and install that, I'll just click this here. What if I don't want to though? What if I don't feel like doing that and I actually want to get some terminal experience? Simple. We'll just go through the instructions here. There's plenty of like instruction guides and commands on how to install stuff. Arch included. Normally, Normally, Arch back in the day was like pretty hard to install, but I've actually read recently that there's actually install scripts for Arch, so if you want to get into that, I've heard Arch has actually gotten pretty easier to install. But that's a topic for another day. Back to Tor here. So let's pop back up our hunky-dunky terminal. So we're going to type in sudo apt install Tor. So as before, it'll generate the lines up here like it did with the time shift. So right down here, it says it's going to take 15 megabytes of disk space if I wanted to install it. So if I want to install, I'll type in Y for yes, and then enter. And then I'll just have like an install, and poof, just like that. The Tor browser, where'd it go? Okay, so sorry about that, guys. I thought I could get Tor to work for some reason. But oddly enough, I could not get it to work. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to be using. I'm gonna have to use another example. Let's see. Let's try. Let's do Chromium. That one should be a little bit more user-friendly here to try, so if you don't want to type it out, you can also just copy and paste it there. But you do want to be careful copy and pasting stuff, because sometimes you may accidentally copy something that may not be part of it, and it won't run properly. So let's try this again. So, yep. Okay, and this time, it should, like, install properly. Because now it's got, like, the Chromium snap. May take a moment to download here, but... Okay, so finally, the browser finally finished downloading here. So let's see if that just actually showed up in our box here. Oh, there we go. As you can see here, the Chromium web browser has finally shown up here. So let's say... I'm kind of liking these two here, but for some reason, let's just say I've kind of gotten used to, like, I'm not a big... Let's just say I'm not really... I don't care for Firefox nowadays, so I want to remove it. So how would you remove it? It's actually pretty simple, really. So you just want to do sudo apt remove Firefox. And just hit yep. And poof, just like that. Oh, okay, there it goes. Just like that, Firefox is gone. Alrighty, guys, so that's pretty much all I wanted to go over today. That's probably going to be one of the only Linux videos that I'll probably be making for a while. I'll most likely go back into it if if you guys want to request something that you want me to go over, or just something that want me to take a look at. I'll be more than happy to. So yeah, if you liked what you see today, why not give it a like? If you want to see more content like this, or if you just want to check out stuff that I'm also pretty passionate about, why not hit that subscribe button? So, this is Zelda64, signing off.